From the studios of Tucson Business RadioX, recorded in the Stewart Title corporate offices on Broadway, you are now listening to The Mark Bishop Show. And now here's your host, Mark Bishop.
And a nonprofit's innovative literacy mission may be key to improving reading scores. Why, though, after 20 years of reform, are student scores stagnant on the nation's report card? Well, there's one national nonprofit changing the story on student literacy scores. My guest is Christina Riley, EL Education Director of Curriculum Design. Welcome, Christina.
Thank you for having me.
Christina, please correct me if I'm wrong, but every 2 years, 4th and 8th grade students across the United States are given a reading assessment known as the National Assessment of Educational Progress, or the nation's scorecard. So what is the nation's scorecard? Who is tested and how often?
So the National Assessment of Educational Progress, or the NAEP, is a reading and math assessment given every 2 years to a representative sample of students in public and private schools across the nation. It is administered in grades 4 and 8, and then approximately every 4 years at grade 12. And what it does is it tracks achievement over time across states in reading comprehension and math.
So the test measures reading comprehension by asking students to read selected grade-appropriate materials and answer questions based on what they've read. It seems that in 2019, nearly 294,000 students participated. But here's the kicker, it interested me. In both grades, the average reading scores were lower in 2019 than they were in 2017. Christina, why, after 20 years of reform, are student scores on the nation's scorecard stagnant?
I think there's many factors contributing to this, but something that we focus on in EL education and with our curriculum is really thinking about the research and instruction in classrooms based on research. We have decades of research now on the most effective way that all students learn how to read, including students with reading disabilities, and that is structured phonics. Students learning to link letters to sounds and then blending these sounds together to read words. We know that that's effective through decades of research, and so we have built that into our literacy curriculum. Something that's really interesting, though, in terms of why are they stagnant, I read a report recently from the National Council on Teacher Quality that only 51% of evaluated elementary teacher prep programs actually cover this reading science. So only 51% of teachers are learning the research about what's the most effective way that students learn to read. So some teachers either don't know about reading science or perhaps don't know enough to feel confident to teach it. And so our program has been designed to help teachers teach a comprehensive structured phonics program. And then we also combine that with professional learning to help them really understand the reading science and to help them understand how to implement effectively.
Well, a little bit about EL Education, a nonprofit created out of a collaboration between the Harvard Graduate School of Education and Outward Bound USA. And you're sort of proving in districts really across the country that pairing the research-informed EL education, K-8 language arts curriculum with professional development definitely leads to student achievement.
That is correct. And we're seeing some amazing results. So we partnered with the Detroit Public Schools Community District who were hoping to shift the trajectory of their education in the district. And they designed a 5-year educational reform plan and partnered with us for the implementation of our K-8 language arts curriculum. And this impacted roughly 30,000 students in the district. And after just 1 year of literacy partnership with us, students in Detroit posted their highest ever scores on the Michigan ELA assessment. And they, in all but one tested grade, they also outperformed the state in growth.
Yeah, that was huge. Detroit has emerged as a model for what, resilience and results by the looks of things. We talked before of the Outward Bound USA in the graduate school, the EL Education K language arts curriculum. Here's a good example: a recent study of K2 students in a large district in Tennessee examined the impact on student literacy achievement of the EL Education K2 ELA curriculum. Now, the study found schools that implemented the skills block and modules, two components of EL Education's curriculum, with EL Education support, they had a significantly higher student achievement compared to a matched national comparison group. So what do you what's behind that? What do you attribute that to?
I would attribute it to a number of things. One of them is a high quality curriculum. One of them is the professional learning that accompanies that high quality curriculum. We work with teachers and school leaders to ensure that the curriculum is being implemented with integrity and to also improve classroom practice. And then another thing that I'd attribute it to is that our curriculum focuses not just on mastery of skills and knowledge, but also on building habits of character, so helping students to become effective learners and ethical people who contribute to a better world. And also it focuses on high quality work. So those three dimensions of student achievement and that three-dimensional approach, I believe, helps to raise student achievement.
That's excellent. I mean, it's excellent work for the students, for commerce as a whole, and, for America. You're a non-profit, not-for-profit. I guess you've got to do all the things that every other not-for-profit does to raise funds.
That's absolutely correct, yes.
Okay. Finally, a 5-year independent study of 12,000 students from 70 schools and 18 districts across the U.S. found that teachers improved their classroom teaching and students achieved higher scores on their state tests in schools, combining EL Education's curriculum and professional development. This is pretty cool. Economically disadvantaged students made up 71% of students. They were economically disadvantaged. Christina, tell us about EL Education, how you're working to improve literacy overall. What's the big goal in the ensuing years that you see?
So our goal really is to empower teachers to transform schools in diverse communities across the U.S. And like I said, we do that through our three-dimensional vision of student achievement, and that is embedded into the curriculum that we have. Our curriculum is a K-8 English Language Arts curriculum. It's free to download. It's free online. We also have a number of free resources, including videos, and we also have publications, books that teachers can buy to improve their practice. And we really want to inspire teachers to fulfill their highest aspirations and to motivate students to achieve more than they think possible.
So this that's what you touched on before, is it? The Teacher Potential Project. That's what it's called. That's your goal.
The Teacher Potential Project was one of the studies that has been conducted that examines the combination of high-quality curriculum and professional learning and the changes that can result in classroom practice and the increase in student achievement. And actually, this study, the findings of this study really countered the common understanding that professional learning doesn't make a difference. This study really showed that combining high-quality instructional materials and professional learning gets results.
Fantastic. Well, you began your career in education as an elementary teacher, is that right?
That's correct, yes, in the UK.
Yeah, subject manager. I thought it was a UK accent, you palmy you. At public schools in the UK, that's the thing, listeners, between Australians and the Brits, because we have a lot of English good mum and dads and boys and girls all living in Australia, and we affectionately call them Poms. In fact, my grandparents came from England, so we're all Poms when it boils down to it. The schools in the UK. Now, you also hold a Master of Science in Education from California's State University. and you're living in Colorado. What about the 2 international schools in Japan? Tell us about that a little bit.
So that really started my trajectory into curriculum design. I moved from the UK, where there is a national curriculum, to an international school in Japan where there actually wasn't a curriculum. I was given a set of novels on my shelf and told to design my curriculum from there. And so I realized, oh my goodness, this is actually a reality for many teachers, that they aren't given a high quality curriculum, and they have to not only prepare to teach, but also find resources. And so that set off a passion in me to become a curriculum designer and set me on this path.
Well, you're meant to do it. I'm a great believer of that. If your soul can find the way of what you're meant to do, you're going to do really well at it, and you're going to love it. And it sounds like you do. Good on you. Now, look, where can my listeners, a little bit more information, is that the one I've got here, education, let's have a look at it, HTTPS, so it's www.eleducation.org, is that right?
That's right, eleducation.org.
Okay, so they can read a lot more about that and find out about that. That's information there. Christina Riley, currently the Director of Curriculum Design, overseeing curriculum design for EL Education, and was a lead designer on the nationally renowned EL Education English Language Arts curriculum. It's been a pleasure speaking with you. Keep up the good work, won't you, Christina?
Thank you so much for having me.
All right. Have a wonderful day. Goodbye now.